Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a very long time since we uploaded anything, but here is a recipe that we made for vegetable samosa. It's very quick, very easy, and very yummy. In a bowl, we're first going to be adding 1.5 cups of maida. I added more maida here because I was making vegetable and meat samosas, but you can just add 1.5 cups of maida. Now we're going to be adding a pinch and a half of ajwain. After that, make a little well in the middle and add in your oil. We added about 5 to 6 teaspoons of canola oil. Now we will be taking the oil and thoroughly rubbing it into the flour. Add salt as per your taste. You can make another well in the middle to add the salt and then add water. I add water little by little and start mixing it in. We don't want to add too much water in case it gets very runny. Start kneading the dough now. Do not knead it for more than 1 minute because this will cause the flour to be stiff. So knead the dough, but only for about 40 to 50 seconds. We are going to cover this with a wet paper towel and let it rest for 20 to 30 minutes. For the filling, in a pan, add 3 tablespoons of canola oil and add 1.5 medium-sized onions chopped. We are only going to slightly brown the onions and then add in the ginger garlic paste. Cook the ginger garlic paste until it's slightly browned. Add red chili powder, turmeric powder, coriander powder, black pepper powder, cardamom powder, cumin powder, and garam masala. Now mix these spices together and cook them on a very low flame for about 30 seconds. You want to make sure you have a lower flame so you don't burn the spices. I like to add a little bit of black salt to the filling to make it a little bit more flavorful. This is completely optional, so if you don't have any at home, that's okay. Now I'm just adding a little bit of water so that I can deglaze the pan and make sure that nothing is sticking to the pan. Here I have some boiled potatoes. I took 2 medium boiled potatoes and I refrigerated them for a few hours before adding them into the filling. Mix the potatoes into the spice mixture. As per your preference, you can leave the filling as it is, or you can mash it. We prefer to have it mashed so that we don't get lumps of potatoes in our filling. Now that it's all mashed, we're gonna add green peas. This is also optional, so if you don't like them, you can completely leave them out of your samosa filling. This is something I always forget to add. It's your salt. Make sure you add your salt to the filling. Salt will be as per your taste. I added a few drops of lemon to this as well. Here is our beautiful samosa dough. I'm just gonna take it out of the pan, knead it a little bit for about 30 seconds, not too much. And you can see how soft and creaseless it is. It's not sticky or anything like that. Here I'm making medium-sized round balls, and you have to make sure that there are no cracks in this, so keep rolling them in your hand until you can see that it's a completely soft and creaseless round. Here I'm coating it with some loose flour. And like any other roti or chapati that we make, we're going to roll it, but in this case we're going to do an oval shape or a shape like an egg rather than a round shape. So that's what I'm doing here. It's going to be longer on one side and shorter on the other. And now I'm just going to cut a straight line down the middle. So in order to bind the sides of the dough, I'm going to be taking some loose flour and adding water to it. I suggest adding little by little at a time to avoid making the mistake I made, which was making it too thin. So because it was too thin, I added a little bit more flour, and it made the perfect thick consistency. So I'm applying this to the top line that I created for the samosa dough, but I'm only going to be adding it to half of it. So to the right half, I added the slurry. Now I'm going to take one side and overlap the other to make it into a triangle. Now I'm going to rest it on my fingers, press down on that little line or the overlap to make sure that it's nicely sealed. And I'm going to add a little bit, about 1.5 teaspoons of the samosa filling. These are going to be medium-sized samosas and not large. So if you want to make larger ones, I suggest you make bigger balls of the dough and make longer or bigger oval-shaped patties. Here you can see that I'm adding the slurry to the outside lip of the samosa. And here is the part that is very tricky and I always fail at. You just have to twist at one side and then kind of attach it to the other. It's very hard to do initially, and even though I've been making samosas for a while, it's still very hard for me, but in the end it always works out. Even if you can see that it's not perfect, once you fry it, it actually just, you can't see the difference between perfectly made samosa and not so perfectly made samosa. Here I have some oil, so make sure your oil is at medium. Please don't keep it at a very high temperature because it will cook the outside while leaving the inside raw. So I'm cooking it at medium temperature, and I'm adding a few samosas at a time. Overcrowding the pan can lower the temperature, which means that your samosas won't cook well. Once you start to notice them turning golden brown, we're going to take them out and place them on a tray with a paper towel. That way all the extra oil can get absorbed. And here is our samosa. It is so quick and yummy, and every time we have guests over, we make this and they love it.